What'd y'all cook? I want to know. I need ideas. So I'm going to tell y'all what happened. I didn't go on live last week, and I'm going to tell y'all what happened. Let me see if I can invite a few more people without shutting my mouth or shutting my voice off. Hold on. Let me see. Just hang tight. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Be right back. Be right back. All right, Debbie's on here. Okay. All right. You ate a salad, Linda? Debbie, you had oatmeal? Girl, you was high rolling tonight. Let me show y'all what I ate. It's terrible. Some chicken. That's chicken. Does that look like chicken? Look like chicken. Okay. Pork chops. Yummy. Okay, I had chicken and I put some like roasted corn in it and just made like chicken and roasted corn. So, all right. So I'm gonna tell y'all what happened, why I couldn't come on last week, because on Monday I who is it? Who? Well, I'm on Facebook Live. I can't answer the door right now. Sorry, come back later. She knows I'm on Facebook Live because I sent her an invite. Hey, C. Okay, leftover ribs from yesterday. Selena, CC girl, what did you eat tonight? Okay, so all right, so anyway, on Monday, I aw, yay! Well, post them and tag me. Okay, so on Monday I went to work and I wasn't Rocky. Shh, I wasn't feeling great, so hey, shush. So I started not feeling good, like I was getting a UTI or something. Anyway, I guess around like 9:30, I really wasn't feeling good, but I had an appointment coming in. So my appointment came in and I finished with her. And then I just finally told Nicole, I was like, I have to go. I can't stay because I'm just in too much pain. And that was at like 12:30-ish. And so then I came home and was in a lot of pain. And so I was texting my brother because he had kidney stones and I didn't know. Yes, Caitlin, I told you to come back later because I'm doing a Facebook Live right now, which you can see because you're on it. I know it's TMI, Linda. That's why I almost didn't say the word, but like, we're all girls here. We're good. We're okay. Anyway, it wasn't even a UTI. It was, so I called my brother, or I was texting my brother, and I was like, hey, I know you had this, like, what'd you feel like, and everything that I was saying I was experiencing, he was experiencing. And I was in so much pain. And I was like, well, at what point should I go to the ER? And he was like, at this point, like, go now. So anyway, I couldn't drive. There was no way I could drive. I was in so much pain. So I called my daughter to see if she could leave work a little early. So she did, and she came. And anyway, I ended up going in an ambulance because there was no way I could sit in that waiting room for like 4 hours waiting to be seen, and I knew I would get taken in right away with the ambulance, and I did. And they took me right in, started running tests on me and all kind of stuff right away, and found out that that's what I did have. And so and a couple of other things that thankfully, since I did have kidney stones, they was able to find the other stuff, and you know, it's all going to be taken care of, and we're good. And I am on the mend. So it took me out there, I'm going to tell you. I had 4 children. I had labor for 1. And I have heard it said that kidney stones is the closest thing that a man will come to labor. And I'm going to tell you right now, that is the truth. Because, thank you, C. Yes. Because it was worse than even the labor that I had. It was worse than the labor that I had. It was absolutely awful. If you've ever had it, you know what I'm talking about. If you've never had it, I pray that you never get them or it or whatever it is, because it's awful. So anyway, I'm good. I'm better. I'm back. Thank God. So, and I'm excited. So, tonight, so one thing I wanted to go over and let you guys know is, and I know that there's people who don't go to the same church as me who watch this. So, so I'm just going to say, everybody look at Selena Thomas's TMI. So, at the church that I go to, which is Life Church, it's awesome. I'm so thankful that God brought me there. It's like they are my family. They are my family. I love it. I love my peeps at Life Church. Anyway, the first Wednesday, sorry y'all, I don't know how to stop these calls from coming through when I'm on, but the first Wednesday of every month we have like praise and worship, and like I guess a Bible study. We just started, and this past Wednesday was the first one, and I was not able to make it, so I don't really know what it was about, but I know it's praise and worship, and then I believe like a Bible study. So anyway, that's the first Wednesday of every month. So what I'm gonna do is every first week of the month, whenever my church is doing the Bible study on Wednesdays or praise and worship on Wednesdays, I'm going to do it on Tuesday. I'm going to do live on Tuesday. Every other week, I'll do it on Wednesday. Okay? Just because for me, honestly, Wednesday works better. But I don't want to miss, you know, church on the first Wednesday of every month that we have it. So I'm going to go to that. Yes, you have to come with me, see. So, so anyway, I wanted to set that. So like every Tuesday you can count on Wendy is going to be here. I'm excited about it. In the comments when this video is over, I can't put it in the live. I wish I would have thought about that and put it like in the description, but I really want you guys to go follow my YouTube thing, because I only need like 50 people to subscribe to my YouTube channel to be able to go live on that. And I want to be able to go live on that too, because I'm connected to a few people on there that also are like women that I look up to and that I follow on there. And I really want to be able to get together with them on YouTube. So, okay, cool. I'll look. Where did you send it? See? Where did you send that? But, so anyway, so I'm going to post that in the comments after this video. So please go look at it. If you have YouTube, go to my YouTube channel, subscribe to it, share, and then you can see my videos. I'll upload my videos to there too. And then, when I'm able to go live on that, I will go live on Facebook. I'll go live on that. I have a Twitter or whatever that's called now, X. And I do not have an Instagram. I do not, well, I guess you can't even do TikTok anymore. I don't know, but I don't have all that stuff. I guess I'll get it as, you know, as I need to. But anyway, so I wanted to give like a preview of what I'm going to be talking about on Wednesday. So Wednesday of this week. So I'm going to go over that real quick because it's going to be good. I wasn't really prepared to do the whole thing tonight, so I'm just going to go over what it is. So the first, I'm going to give you a few scriptures. The first thing, like the foundational verse, you know, we're not talking about the Proverbs 31 woman anymore, but we are still going to be talking about becoming her and having that Christ-like, you know, conviction and lifestyle. So we'll have that. But okay, so I'm gonna go. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go to my scripture. So, and I'm gonna read this whole one, and then I'm gonna just give you a few that we're gonna really go into detail on Wednesday, and it's gonna be really good, y'all. Also, if you have, I wouldn't say young. I wouldn't say preteen. If you have a teenage girl, 16, 17, maybe even 15. If you have a young girl or a friend or somebody who is in the culture of today, living just the pressures of life as a teenager, you can have them come on Wednesday, because I really want to speak to them too. And if there's not really young people on here, that's okay. I don't like have like young people on my Facebook to be able to invite them. But if you have a friend or you have a daughter or a niece or anybody who you think would benefit from it, then just bring them on, you know, and let them know, send them an invite. But anyway, so what I'm talking about on Wednesday, I'm going to preface it tonight. And it is Genesis 3, 1 through 7. So I'm going to read that right now. I'm going to tell you who's speaking, not like you won't be able to figure out, but I'm going to tell you who's speaking in these things. And we're going to go over a few points, okay? So Genesis 3, 1 through 7 is when the serpent comes to Eve in the garden, okay? And like I titled this thing tonight, Has God Really Said? So the serpent was the shrewdest of all the wild animals the Lord God had made. One day he asked the woman, Eve, did God really say you must not eat the fruit from any of the trees in the garden? And then Eve said, of course we may eat fruit from the trees in the garden. It's only the fruit from the tree in the middle of the garden that we're not allowed to eat. God said you must not even eat it or even touch it, because if you do, you'll die. And then the serpent said, you won't die. God just knows that your eyes will be opened as soon as you eat it, and you will be like him, knowing both good and evil. So the woman was convinced, and she saw that the tree was beautiful and its fruit looked delicious. And she wanted wisdom. She wanted the wisdom it would give her. She wanted to know what that tree was all about. So she took some of the fruit and ate it. Y'all, listen to this right here. Then she gave some to her husband. Who was Eve's husband? Adam. Then she gave some to her husband, Adam, who was with her. And he ate it too. Adam, why did you eat the fruit, Adam? You were supposed to be the strong husband, the head, the leader. Adam, why did you eat the fruit? Why did Adam eat that fruit? At that moment, their eyes were opened and they suddenly felt shame at their nakedness. So their eyes were open, okay? So I'm going to go to a few other things. So that's the basis. Andrea, he's a mess. Okay, so All right. So first we have the serpent who's saying, has God really said? I don't know. I don't know. Did God really say that you couldn't eat any of the all the trees? He said you couldn't eat all the fruit from all the trees. Are you sure? And then Eve's just like, I don't know. Well, like, did he? I mean, maybe not, you know? And then Eve looked over at that tree that was in the middle of the garden and she was like, dang, look at that tree. I don't know if any of y'all, you know, I know there's some people on here that have been married for a long time, got married to their high school sweethearts, and that is great. That's wonderful. And at some point you was looking at the high school sweetheart being like, dang, he fine. So as a woman, right? Like I'm a single woman. I don't go out and date. Like I just don't. I just don't. I know that God knows who's for me, who's best for me. And at some point we're going to cross our paths and it's going to be on. Okay. But we can get in trouble being like, dang, he's cute. And like, dang, I want to know what he's about. No. We do not need to know. We do not need to know. Okay. So the enemy says, you won't die. The serpent replied, God knows that your eyes will be open and then you'll be able to see good and evil like him. Y'all, we don't need to know the evil. We don't need it. What we need to do is trust that God has good for us and trust in the good. We don't need the evil. We don't need to, because we can, I don't know about y'all, but anytime I've been like, I want to find out like what that's about, I regretted it. And even if I didn't regret it, I learned a hard lesson in it, right? So so on Wednesday night, I'm going to go more in depth, but one of the things I'm going to talk about is 1 Corinthians 6:12, and it says, all things are permissible, but not all things are beneficial. So Wednesday night, we're going to get into about how to live, you know, a holy life, our bodies holy and separate unto God. And look, I know that that is not the culture. I get it. I live in 2025. Okay. I understand that that's not how most people live. It's how I choose to live. And it's how I choose to live because I have seen the unfruitful works of darkness in my life. Okay, I've chosen it, I've walked through it, I have seen, have experienced, and I have had enough. So I've had my fill of that. There's nothing this world has to offer me that I want. Not a thing. Not a thing. I want God. I want to honor God, and I want to honor him with my heart. I want to honor him with my body. I want to honor him with my spirit. I want to honor him with everything. So on Wednesday night, we're going to get more in depth talking about that. All things are permissible, but not all things are beneficial. So I'm going to say it like this. Can we go out there and find out what some things are about? Yeah, we can. We can. Is it permissible? Yeah. Is it going to send you to hell? Probably not. Is it beneficial? Nope. It is not. It's not beneficial. There's a lot of things that are permissible, but they're not beneficial. Okay. Another thing is James 1:7. This is a scripture that we're going to get into on Wednesday. James 1:7. It says, every good and perfect gift is from above. Every good and perfect gift is from above. So God is he's never trying to keep something from us. In all things, in every situation, no matter what it is, God is always trying to either protect us or get something good to us. And this is how I look at it. Like, you know, I have opportunities to date people. sometimes just meeting people through friends and stuff, you kind of can tell, like, within 5 or 10 minutes of a conversation, like, if you want to conversate with a person anymore. I can. But I lost my train of thought. But anyway, I could date people, but I choose not to, because I don't want to just talk to anybody and waste my time. But I know that I've said it like this: God is not going to. I am God's daughter, so He is my father. You are God's daughter. He is your father, and I know the kind of man that my father would be willing to walk me down the aisle to, right? Because, whenever, like Paul says, if you have passion and stuff like that, then get married, because it's better to be married than to fornicate and burn with passion. But I would rather that you be like I am, single, because the single people are worried about God's business, right? So, but I was married. I have children. I went through all that, where I had to take care of my husband and take care of my house and take care of my kids. Like, I've done that. Okay. And that's where my focus had to be. And now I'm at a place where I want to be about my father's business. And if someone else is not about his father's business, then how can two walk together unless they are agreed? I have no desire to walk my life with someone who is not in line with God's purpose. So I know and I trust God to bring that person to me, if there's a person, and when the time is right, if there's a person, because I want someone who's going to encourage me and walk with me into what God's purpose is for us as a couple. But first, I'm going to be walking by myself about my father's business until that happens, if it does. Yeah, Debbie, that's exactly it. He gives us a free will to make our choices. And that's where we have to think about it. Yes, we have a free will to make our choice, but also, like in the Bible, he gives us the the layout, like he answers any question we could possibly have. And if we can't find it ourselves, we can go to people to help us figure it out. But like I was saying, I know that God's not going to walk me down the aisle to just anybody. So I trust in his will, and I trust his heart for me in that aspect. And so even if there's a situation where, I would want someone to ask me out or something like that, God knows. Like, God knows what's best for me. And I even have gotten to the point now, I've gotten to the point now where I'm like, God, look, here's the deal. Because sometimes I have a desire to have companionship with someone, and to have that, almost like a soundboard, like just to have that person, like just someone to share your life with, I guess. Because sometimes I have that desire. I believe that God put that desire in me. But this is what I tell God now. Like, God, you know my heart better than I do. Okay? Like, you know what I really want and what I really do need more than I do. So if you know that it's in my best interest, and it's in the best interest of the future for what you have for me, that someone comes alongside of me and we go forward together, then that's okay. Then I'm open for you to bring that person. But if not, that's okay too. I will walk about my Father's business by myself. It's okay. So the other thing is Psalms 84:11. it doesn't just say this, but this was the gist of it. And y'all have heard it before. No good thing will he withhold from those who walk uprightly. No good thing. Now, there's a caveat on the end of that, which is from those who walk uprightly. God's desire is to give us good things. His desire is to always give us good gifts, okay? And it says he will withhold nothing good from those who walk uprightly. And I know in my life, I've made decisions at times where I should have chose differently. Not only should I have chose differently, I knew in the moment that I should have chose differently. And in one particular moment, which I'll share, I might share it on Wednesday, I don't know, because it's very vulnerable, and it's not a great, it was like one of the, it just wasn't a great time. It was not a great time. I might share it on Wednesday. I'm gonna pray about it. But man, it was like the Holy Spirit was here and the devil was here. Okay. And I'm listening. Like, this is exactly how it happened. Like, it's exactly how it felt. Like, I was listening to this, like these thoughts, right? And then I would listen to this. And so I had a choice in that moment. I had a choice. I had a choice to make. And I chose wrong. I chose wrong. And I paid a very dear price for that. And my friend Selena is on this live right now, and she knows, like, and I'll tell y'all next week. Hopefully I have the courage to tell y'all this ugly, ugly part of my life. But I ended up on the floor in the kitchen crying, like, Selena, like, because Selena was like, girl, you got it together, and I was like, I don't have it together, Selena. And I'm just laying on the floor and I'm crying. That girl walked over to me. She was like, okay, girl, you got a minute to lay on that floor, but you got to get back up. Ain't nobody got time for you to lay on this floor and cry. Get back up, dust yourself off, and start over. That's what she told me. And I was just like, I want to lay here and pity party, But Selena wasn't having none of that. She wasn't going to let me do that. Thank God for Selena. So anyway, we'll talk about it on Wednesday night, but and it's going to be good. Come back and listen to it. Hopefully I'll have the courage to share my story. It's very embarrassing, but I know that I'm not the only one who has experienced it. And I can tell you what, some lessons you only got to learn once, right? Sometimes you only got to have that lesson one time. Because now, if that happened again, I'd be like, you get out my face. Because we already been down this road. We're not doing it again. So anyway, we're going to talk about Eve. We're going to talk a little bit about Adam. Look, I was talking to my boss, who is, his name is Bruce. I love him dearly, and I love his wife, Jill. They are so precious to me. They are friends. They're not just my bosses. They are my very dear friends. And I was telling him, about, what I gleaned, from Adam and Eve and all that. And he said, God already knew before, when he created Adam and Eve, he already knew that was going to happen. Adam, was the first Adam. Jesus was the second Adam who came and died one time for all people. Okay. So Jesus being the second Adam. So it was already a part of God's plan because he gave free will, and he knew that we were, not strong. And that's why he says, I'm made strong. I'm made perfect in your weakness. Okay. So, but we're going to talk about Adam and why it's so important to have a strong man. Now, I know that there's been a lot of toxic, wait, what's it called? Toxic masculinity. Whatever. Okay. Bring on the masculinity. I don't care. I am not a guy. I'm not a man. I don't want to be a man. I don't want to do the man stuff. Okay. I want to be the woman. I want, if I have a husband, I want it to be someone, and not just want, it will be someone who can protect me, someone who can protect my heart, someone who can protect me physically, someone who will help protect my mind. I mean, I want a protector. And I also want someone who will say, that's not a good idea, because if we do this, then, that's probably not the best decision that we're, to make. So let's do this instead. Okay. So I'm gonna have that kind of man if I have a man, because that's the kind of man I want. I'll tell you that one of the things that I did in my first marriage, and I own this completely, and one day I'll share my story of, my marriage and then getting divorced and all that kind of stuff. But, and I'm also, I care for my ex-husband. We are friends. I don't talk to him very often, but I care for his heart. And I hope him well. I wish him well, and I pray for him. And he's called me from time to time and asked me to pray for him, and of course I do. But in my marriage, I was young, and I remember having the attitude sometimes like I was going to get what I wanted, and whatever I had to do to make that happen, I was going to make it happen. If I had to, I don't know, just not shut up about it, or I don't know, maybe I whined. I don't know what I did. I just know that if I wanted it, I got it. Like, even if it wasn't the best thing for us, but even still, like, right? Because I used to get a new car like every, hey, shush. I used to get a new car like every year or two, and I still do that, except, the one I have now, I'm keeping it. That's where them girls get that from. I guess. So anyway, hey, that's not nice. Do you want to come say hi? Rocky wants to say hi. Hang on a sec. Come here. Hey, don't make me chase you. Okay. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. That's right, Charlotte. Yeah. So Charlotte just posted, when we delight in him, he will give us the desires of our heart. Very true. And I don't think it's just that he will give us the desires of our heart like, oh God, I want that, right? I believe, hey, that's enough. You stop fussing at me. You are not the boss of me. That's rude. Here, have your treat. I believe that he will give us the desires. Hey, that's not nice. Why are you yelling at me? He doesn't ever bark like this. Rocky does not like being ignored. No, he doesn't. Come here. Look, do you see these people? I'm talking to them, and they think you're being rude. Even the dog got the same mentality as you girls. Yep. Okay, so look at you. You made me forget what I was saying. I don't even know. Anyway, yeah, so I don't remember what I was saying, but when I was married, I guess I would manipulate. I know I would manipulate. So there's things about how I was. He probably does, Linda. There was things about my marriage that I would do differently. So not that it would have worked out between me and him, because he was who he was. So, and my love for God and my faith in God and my, walk with the Lord did not change that about him. So, yeah. Yeah, Charlotte. Yeah, I'm being very specific about the person who got, you know what I used to have, and I'm kind of getting off on like a little tangent thing right now, but I used to have a list and I called it my Mighty Man of Valor. Now I still have a list called my Mighty Man of Valor. But it went from like 20 something things to about 4 things. And they are the most important, right? So someone who loves Jesus more than they'll ever love me. That's number one. Number one. I got to see Jesus when I look in your eyes. Number two is someone who will love me well. Someone who will be proud of me. I want someone who looks at me from across the room, right, and is like, dang, that's my woman. That is my woman right there. I am so proud of her. That's what I want, right? And I want to do the same for him. And then someone who will protect my heart. Someone who knows the value of my heart and will protect it. Because there's a lot, unfortunately, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of men, and I'm not even going to say they're just in the world, honey, they're in the church, who do not protect women's hearts, okay? And we want men who are going to protect our heart. And you know what? If that's a desire that we have, it's because God placed that desire there so that he can honor it, so that we can ask for it and he can honor it, and he will. So... What is wrong with my dog? He's going to want me to go. My dog's going to want me to take him out here in a minute. I'm right. I hear you are the boss of me. He is the boss of me, y'all. All right. So anyway, that's it. So we'll talk about Adam. We'll talk about wanting a husband who's strong and who doesn't just let us have our way. Because Adam didn't say anything. Like he just let Eve call the shots there, right? No, we need somebody like to that's the purpose, right? Why God puts, I am okay with being under a man. I'm okay with that. I'm totally fine with that. Okay. I'm totally not a woman's lib in the way of, I mean, I want, women to do things and do what we can work, do whatever. But I do not have any desire to take my husband's position in our marriage away from him. None at all. But the husband has a responsibility too, okay? And if you're married and your husband doesn't take that responsibility, then pray for him. I'll pray for him. We can all pray for him together. If you have husbands that do not take that responsibility. But I won't marry a husband. I won't marry a man who doesn't know how to take that responsibility. Yeah, Rocky's my bodyguard. He gave up. Bless his little heart. Anyway, y'all come back on Wednesday and join me, and we're gonna have a good time. And if I get the courage up, I'll tell you about one of the darkest seasons of my life. It was awful. But God is good, and he is a restorer, and he makes us whole, and he heals our hearts, and he heals our brokenness, and he takes care of all of that when we bring it to him. Okay? So God will love us right back to life. And I love him for that. He's awesome. So, all right. So I'm going to come back on Wednesday night. Good to see. Well, I can't see you, but I'm glad to see you on my live because I love you and I miss you. We're going to come back on Wednesday night. It's going to be between 6:45 and 7 p.m. And, just be looking for it. I'm going to send out live, and I'll send out some invitations, and I'll be back on Wednesday. I love y'all. See you later. I'm going to take my dog out before he tries to boss me around again. I love y'all. See you later. Bye.